Hi, today we're going to be looking at rewriting literal equations. This is something new. You probably haven't done much of this in the past. So be ready, and we're going to be doing something very useful, but probably a little bit unique. So our objective is to use the properties of equality to rewrite equations and solve for a single variable. So since I threw out the phrase literal equation, we probably need to know what a literal equation is. Literal equation is just an equation with more than one variable. Some examples: ax plus by equals c. We'll be seeing this a lot in the future. This is standard form of a linear equation. A equals 1/2 bh. Does that look familiar? Area of a triangle. V equals LWH. That would be the volume of a prism, specifically a rectangular prism. F equals 9/5 C plus 32. That is how you convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. And A equals pi r squared. That would be the area of a circle. So why do we need to do this? Well, just as you just saw, we have a lot of um, equations, formulas in science and in math. Um, and it's sometimes nice to be able to, you have different information you're given so that you can solve for other information. So let's look at this. This is a formula. It's a distance formula. Distance equals rate times time. But we want to know, if we know the distance, we know the rate, how would we solve for time? So we want to get that time by itself. I actually have that highlighted. So let me do it with my highlighter. That would probably make more sense. So if we want to solve for time, maybe I don't. There we go. We got to get rid of everything with the time. So just like in, if there were numbers there, this is multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. So I would divide both sides by r. So time, or t, equals distance divided by rate. So what is the correct one? Well, here I have time equals distance minus rate. That's not it. Time equals rate divided by distance. That's upside down. Time equals distance divided by r. That's what we came up with. But time does not equal distance times rate. So that would be our correct answer, C. Let's look at the next one. We're going to solve for pi, which would be a weird thing to do. We know what pi is. We would never really have to solve for pi, but let's do it anyway. I have the circumference equals 2 times pi times radius. My goal is to get this pi by itself, so I can get rid of the 2 by dividing by 2, but I can also get rid of the r at the same time, since that's also multiplication, by dividing by r. Do the same thing over here. 2r. This cancels with this. This cancels with this. And I'm left with pi equals the circumference divided by 2 times the radius. I'm not going to rewrite that. It's right here. So pi equals c over 2r. Now let's look at this next equation, y equals mx plus b. This is also going to be one you're going to be using in the near future a lot. This is the linear equation with our slope and our y-intercept. We want to solve for x. So what do I have to get rid of? Well, just like any equation we're solving, we have sent home those acquaintances first. In this case, that is our b. So I got to subtract b. Well, how do I subtract b from y? Well, I just write y minus b. That equals mx. But this x still is not by itself. It's attached to that m through multiplication. So I need to divide by m. What I do to one side, I do to the other. I have to divide this whole thing by m. My m cancels out over here. I'm left with x equals y minus b over m. You'll be surprised how often you will be doing this type of manipulation in the very near future. Let's try another example. Here I have area equals 1/2 base times height. This would be, again, I said the area of a triangle. We want to solve for b. Well, first, I can get rid of this 1/2 by multiplying by 2. The reciprocal. Multiply by 2. This will cancel out. And I'm left with BH equals 2A. Well, now my B still isn't by itself. I have to get rid of that H, which is stuck to the B through multiplication. So I'm going to divide both sides by H. This cancels, and I'm left with B equals 2A over H. Wow, now I have a whole complicated looking thing. I believe this would be the volume of a pyramid. We can solve for H. So I need to get rid of everything else. I'm going to get rid of this fraction first by multiplying by 3, the reciprocal of 1 over 3. I can write 3 over 1 if I want. That will cancel out. I have to multiply this side also by 3. So now I have 3v equals s cubed times h. I have to get rid of this still. It's stuck by multiplication, so let's divide both sides by s to the third power. Divide this side by s to the third power. This cancels, and I'm left with h equals 3 times volume divided by the side to the third power. Hope this is starting to make some sense to you. Next one, I'm going to solve this equation for b. It's always good to highlight or mark in some way what you're trying to solve for. Here I highlighted, I circled things. I just want to keep track of this is what I'm trying to get by itself. I'm going to multiply this by c first. I could multiply by the reciprocal c over b, but these are getting complicated for you, so I'm just going to multiply by c. Now keep in mind, we like to write these in alphabetical order, so I'm going to put AC instead of CA equals 4B. Now I got to get rid of this 4. To do that, I'm going to divide by 4. Now I have, oops, I almost crossed out by B. Now I have B equals AC over 4. Like I said, it could have multiplied by the reciprocal here. I would still come up with AC over 4. Getting done. Almost there. This time I want to solve for F. This time my 7e is closer to my F than the 8. I need to get rid of that 8 first by multiplying both sides by 8. So I have 8h equals F plus 7e. My F still is not by itself. It has that 7e attached to it. So I'm going to subtract 7e from both sides. And F will equal 8h minus 7e. Don't forget you can pause the video if I go too fast at any point. Solving for n. Ooh, I don't like this one. My n is in the denominator.
Attending our Rogers Middle School conferences. At this time, we are asking that you wrap up and finish any conferences that you are attending so that our staff can conclude and leave for the evening. Teachers, remember tomorrow we start with conferences at 8 a.m. and go ahead and dress casual. Have a great night. Custodians, go ahead and secure the building.
Okay, took a little break there for that announcement. I'm going to use my cross products here. When I have this variable I'm solving for in a denominator, cross products are often the easiest way to do this. So m times n is mn, and 1 times 2k minus j is just 2k minus j. Now to get rid of that m, I just divide by it. So n equals 2k minus j over m. That is it. Have a great night.